The phone buzzed against the nightstand, slicing through the medication haze. A whisper on the other end. "Dad, they left me here. I'm scared." The room tilted. My stitches burned. "Where are you?" A rustle, the sound of moving water. "By the river." I called her next, my wife. She answered on the second ring, breath sharp with annoyance. "He's dead weight. I should have dumped years ago." No hesitation, no drunken slur to excuse it. The line went dead before I could speak. I stared at the ceiling, the quiet roar in my ears louder than my own heartbeat. My hands didn't shake. They never do. The next morning, the police called. We pulled a small body from the river. They didn't finish. They didn't have to. Something inside me slid into place. Cold, unyielding, final. The funeral was 2 days later. Closed casket. She cried when people were watching, collapsing against her mother's shoulder. When she thought no one was looking, her face smoothed into something blank. I knew that expression, the same one she used when lying about smaller things. Receipts that didn't match, perfume that wasn't hers, hours that went unaccounted for. They told me it was an accident, a slip, a fall. But my son didn't whisper, "They left me," for no reason. The words were still lodged in my head, like a splinter I couldn't dig out. At night, I replayed every moment. Her reluctance to have him, her resentment at my surgeries, the time I couldn't work, her fixation on control, and that one sentence, sharp enough to cut through morphine. "He's dead weight. I should have dumped years ago." I didn't grieve like they expected. I listened, I watched, and I waited. 3 weeks after the burial, I found his backpack buried in the garage behind boxes of Christmas lights. Dry, untouched, not lost at the river. That same night, I logged into her cloud storage. She had left it open before bed. Photos, her by the riverbank at sunset. My son not in the frame. Her parents smiling, beer bottles in hand. The timestamp, 15 minutes before his call. The next morning, I asked about the trip casually. She told me it was peaceful. No mention of him wandering off. I started requesting my own police records, unredacted witness statements. The fisherman who saw a boy alone on the bank, calling for someone. The timestamp again, before dark. I kept everything in a single folder. Not hidden, just placed where she would never think to look. She was careful, but I became quieter than her guilt. I let her think I was numb. I let her think I was broken. I was simply collecting the final pieces. The report came in on a Wednesday morning. Cause of death, hypothermia. No signs of a fall. No defensive wounds. Water found in the lungs indicated he was alive when he entered. It was the position of the body that told me everything. Caught in shallow reeds not far from shore. He hadn't been swept away. He'd been left. That night, I set the report on the kitchen table, folded neatly, her name written across the front. She walked in, saw it, opened it, her hand went to her mouth, then fell away. "This isn't what they told you," she whispered. I said nothing. I didn't need to. She searched my face for anger, found only stillness. The next morning, I sent copies of the report to 3 places: the police, Child Protective Services, and her employer. By evening, she was gone, staying at her parents', her phone pinging with unanswered calls from numbers she didn't recognize. I didn't block her. I let her keep trying. 2 days later, she came back. "You're destroying me," she said. "No," I replied. "You did that yourself." Her voice cracked, not from sorrow, fear. The kind that comes when someone realizes the story they've spun has been rewoven without them. I didn't yell. I didn't explain. I just turned away, leaving her to stand in the quiet weight of her own undoing. The house is silent now. His room remains as it was, bed made, books stacked neatly on the shelf. I don't sit in there. I just pass by, sometimes, on my way to the kitchen. People ask if I'll forgive her. Forgive what? The truth? The proof? The sentence she spoke like it was nothing? I think about the last time I heard his voice, how he whispered so I wouldn't worry, how he trusted I would come for him. I did, just not in time. But I made sure the one who left him there will never be able to leave anything behind again. Some endings aren't about justice, they're about weight, and I made sure she'll carry this one for the rest of her life.